So mistake number 3, not recognizing the cause of errors. And here, I'm going to take up, this is very important. Why? Because a number of you, when you get a question wrong, you would say that, okay, I got this question wrong because I don't know this particular concept. I want you to go beyond concept. I want you to get to the level wherein you can pinpoint the exact part of the process that you're not doing right. Now for this, what we're going to do is, I'm going to ask you a question in quant, and I want you guys to solve this question.
Guys, again, please be honest. Don't tell the person sitting next to you. It's a data sufficiency question that you're going to really see.
The number properties, data sufficiency question, solve the question on your own. You have the notepad, utilize that. And then after you are done solving the question, I'll give you about 1.5 to 2 minutes. So I am timing you because Prashant is timing me. So I am under that time pressure right now. So I'm going to then ask you, show of hands, how many of you thought the answer is A, and then so on. We'll collect the data that way. So here you go. All right then, let's stop solving. Keep your pens down. How many of you?
Raise your hands if you think.
Choice A is the correct answer.
Okay. Raise, come on. I was seeing some hands over there.
Choice A, that's okay. Don't be nervous. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. All right, not
that
choice A
may
not be a mistake, exactly. How many of you think that choice B is the correct answer? Okay, so about what?
15-20%. Sharang, we need you as a statistician.
Yeah.
Estimation.
About 15%.
Yeah.
Okay, how about choice C? All right.
It's a DS question. It always has to be C.
Okay, raise hands, high hands. Choice C. All right, so about what, 5
to
5%? Okay. Choice D? About what, 30%?
Yeah.
30%?
Yes.
Okay. Choice E? It has to be choice E, right? I think there are some of you who haven't raised their hands.
Many of them, I think.
Many of them, yes. And that's not fair.
Okay, but I think choice D was the most popular choice.
Choice D and then choice A.
B. Choice
A.
B.
Choice
Choice B, and B was 15%.
B was 15%, D was 30%. Yes, all right. The correct answer here is choice D.
D for delta.
Each statement alone is sufficient. Now, if you mark this question, now for those of you who did not select choice D as the correct answer, raise your hands. For those of you who did not select choice D. So majority of the class did not select choice D.
So so which topic does this question belong to? Number properties. What would you say is the reason why you made a mistake?
In your error log, if you maintain one, which you should, what are you going to write as the mistake? Number properties.
Okay. Anyone else? Number properties, yes. Huh?
Prime numbers.
Prime numbers, good.
What else? Perfect prime factors. Okay. Okay. Perfect square. That's what. Okay. All right. Majority of you think that it's prime numbers or square of a prime number. Okay. All right. So even odd. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you log it as a particular concept.
See, we didn't know what you were going to say, but we know stats work. So we knew this is what you were going to say based on what we know from what students write to us about this.
So about 60% of students get this question wrong, which is pretty much the theme that we got in this audience as well. And when we ask those questions, majority of them say that it's a prime numbers question.
I have issue with prime numbers.
Yes. So what is going to be the corrective action? You're going to revise prime numbers module, right? You're going to revise prime numbers concept. Now let's quickly go through the concept that this question tests you,
Let's just focus on the reason. I think this is
right. Okay. Now, so basically over here, how many of you were able to get to this inference that what you really need to find out from the question statement is that is any of the powers A, B, C greater than 1? How many of you were able to get to that inference?
Okay.
Very few of you.
Very few of you. So I think the thing which is there is most of you if I were to ask you the individual concepts on prime numbers that are tested in this, would know this. The reason why you made a mistake is because you failed to draw this inference from the question stem, even before going to statement 1 or statement 2.
How many of you know the concept that if the number of factors of a number is odd, then that number is a perfect square? Show of hands. A number of you, right? How many of you know the concept of how do you represent a number as in terms of its prime factors? Almost all of you. So you guys know the concept. What you don't know is how is it that you draw inferences from the question statement. So if you write in your error log, which is what most of you do, that you have a problem with prime numbers, that the corrective action for that is not going to help you.
It's not going to fix the issue.
It's not going to fix the issue. The issue really is that you can't infer the right information from the statement that you read. And this particular issue that you can't draw inferences is not only going to have an impact on how you solve questions related to number properties, it's also going to have an impact on how you solve algebra questions, on how you solve geometry questions across the board, across all quant. And that is what we mean by figuring out the exact reason why you're answering the question incorrectly.
So I think one last piece before we end the session. So a lot of people really say, hey, your solutions are really long. They're long, why? Because they tell you what you should have inferred as you read each and every part of the question. I mean, we don't love writing long solutions. I mean,
it takes a lot longer for us to write a long solution.
If you ask Kanupri over there, if you ask Ashutosh, it's a lot of work for them to create those solutions. But the value is so that you can figure out where you're making a mistake, why you're making a mistake. And that's really important, and that's really powerful. Okay.